There's no doubt about it. Everyone is talking about crypto. American Dream Token is a community-driven platform that promotes global financial well-being by empowering the community to not only be in control of their own money, but to create wealth opportunities for themselves as well as others. The American Dream Token team is dedicated to building the best decentralized ecosystem on the planet. If you have an interest in crypto, you need to visit AmericanDreamToken.com, read their dream paper, and meet their dedicated team. Also, share the link on all of your social media so your friends can join the community too. AmericanDreamToken.com.
Go.
I have COVID. I have to go, guys.
There. Problem solved. Anyways, so we just came off of, was it been 2 weeks since our last one, Howler? I can't remember. Yeah, we skipped the Christmas Eve and last Friday because it was going into, what, New Year's Eve? Or was it New Year's Eve? I think I was dying. I think I was dying and it was New Year's Eve, so, no big deal. Anyways, it was the holiday season anyway, so nothing crazy or exciting was going on. None of our people were doing squat for us yet because holidays. So this is just kind of a recap of the last 2 weeks, and it still isn't anything super crazy or super exciting, but yet it is all at the same time. So just wanted to start off with the DEX development. It's underway. Talking to the one guy that we have been working with, he definitely has bitten off more than he can chew. So he's asking for a little bit of help. So it's kind of slowing down the progress of the DEX itself, but it's not stopping or hindering it really in any substantial way. It's just kind of, he was pretty confident he was going to be able to do front end, back end, and all the UI and all that jazz by himself. But the task that we have given him has been pretty monumental. And so now he's kind of like, well, I'll get started, but I'm going to need help. So that's my update on that. And then I'm going to let Howler update on the mini game because I just got done playing the demo version of it and I'm super excited.
Okay, guys. So basically, my name is Howler, and I'd like to speak to you guys. Joking aside, but Joe, there's an echo coming from me. We can hear you farting.
Can you still hear it? That was my chair.
Now I can smell it.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, good news. We have been working with a game developer this past couple of weeks to get our arcade game library out. Obviously, he can't do it all by himself, but he basically is gonna. So I'm not gonna say gonna, but so he basically took the task upon himself, and he's been nothing but good news so far. He's been really amazing at what he does and what he will continue to do. So we're basically, I'm gonna give a timeline here. I'm gonna say next Friday, not next Friday, but the coming Friday, 14th. We'll probably have the arcade library released. It will only consist of one game at the moment, but sorry guys, the developer will be working on another game. As soon as this is released, he will also be working on this, of course. This is just a rough version of, it's basically what version 1 of what's gonna be released. So we're looking to mitigate any bugs or any cheating inside this game. You're gonna be playing with crypto. So yeah, ADREAM will be the payment option. You will be paying to enter the game with ADREAM tokens. You will also be paying, unfortunately, BSC gas, which is just a simple transaction gas, nothing too major. But there's that as well, because we are on BSC scan, Binance Smart Chain. There will be BSC gas fees. That's unfortunate, but we are looking into um, ways around this. But so far, it's good news that we are releasing this by end of next week. I'm not even gonna say end, but yes, it is end actually. Sorry, I'm mumbling again. But yes, so the payment option will be ADREAM. It will be just, I'm just gonna say at the current price, it will be just around $1 to enter the game. Um, we're setting the amount to 100 million ADREAM tokens at the moment. Uh, um, so you will pay 100 million to enter the game and play. Um, you will be playing for top score. So you better do good at from the start if you wanna have a chance of winning that 50, basically a percentage. I'm gonna say a split from that 50% that's going into the pot from all the collected ADREAM tokens. And the first place will be able to get 30% of that pot. Second place will be getting 15%, and third place will be getting 5% of the 50% of the pot. So there will be 3 winners. There won't be one player taking 3 spots. We have looked into this and we are able to make that only one player is able to claim 1 spot. So there's that. We are also releasing a trial version for this, so you won't have to pay in to play. You will have to pay in to play if you want to have your high score saved for a week until the next spot is going in. So yeah, this concept is basically pay to play and pay to win. I guess this is it. Yep. So the better you are at the game, the better the chances you get. I might have forgot something else. Also, yes, developer has decided to come on to the team. He will be working under me. He will pop up in the chat, say hi from time to time. He speaks English very well, probably even better than me. And also, yeah, so he decided to work with us and he is hired as a game developer. So you guys will be expecting a lot more games, obviously. We are trying to release a full game library. So in reality, we are looking in a couple of months to have like 5 or 6 games inside the library. Until we have 5 games at least, the library will not be fully open. The games will rotate every week. So first we are releasing a Tetris. The second game is still unknown, but the developer will be jumping on that as soon as the Tetris is released. So it will be, let's say, Tetris this week. Next week it could be a different game. Next week it could be a different game. And it's just going to rotate weekly until we have 5 games. Once we have 5 games, and actually, let me emphasize on this, 5 games and big enough audience, we are going to open all the games to the public to play whatever you want. But that depends if we have a big enough audience, because if we don't have big enough audience to play this, some like 60% of the people could be playing Tetris and 1% could be playing another game and nobody wants to join that game. And the pot will just be basically nothing. So it's pointless to have it like that. So we want to draw as many people into one game so people could basically win more and uh, and we could burn more, you know. So yes, 50% will be in the pot and 50% of ADREAM will be sent straight to burn. Thank you very much.
So yeah, the big concept on that is a lot of people ask about burning and stuff like that. And if we burn the tokens that we have locked away, It will provide absolutely zero price impact on what's going on. The only way for burns to be successful is to burn circulating supply. But obviously, we're not going to ask any of you guys to just go into your wallets and burn your tokens. It's a dumb concept. So this is a way for you guys to effectively, it's like Chuck E. Cheese for those of you who know, or Dave and Buster's, like when we were kids. You play some games and for all you pay your little B&B to go in, and if you have the top score of the week, you get 30% of the entire week paid back out to you in ADREAM, and then the rest is burned. So there's no reflections when you pay in, so all the transactions are free from reflections so both your payout to you as well as your like token to play. They're safe from the reflections. And yeah, just in a nutshell, it was kind of a fun little concept and give you a way to kind of use your ADREAM, get it moving back and forth as it's kind of showing transactions and changing hands. It drums volume. It shows movement, which right now it's kind of the hard part. We've got our core people. I mean, our core people buy. We're really those who were gonna sell have pretty much all sold out. I mean, there are still some sells here and there, but for the most part, it's our lack of volume is because I'm not gonna ask any of you guys to obviously just keep buying and buying and buying. 20 people can't do it, but there's 20 people who are just a really solid group. So just trying to find a way to bring in more people and having this silly little mini game, as we could call it, it attracts several different types of people. So like the first one is Tetris. We're going for old school arcade games is the thing too. So it's kind of like you walk into the arcade, you throw your quarter in the machine. We wanted to have that feel. So think Tetris, Galaga, Pac-Man, concepts like that. I can't remember actually who even mentioned it, but somebody like a month or so ago had even mentioned, I think it might even have been JR, doing like a Pac-Man mini game where instead of Pac-Man, it was the ADREAM logo, eating the balls. And so that was kind of where my thought was on it when I presented the idea to Howler. So wanted to play the nostalgia card so that some people like myself who've been around and, you see how complex games are these days, but you still just kind of love the feel of the old games. Bite into that person who likes to get the chance to win a prize bigger than what they put in, and then just have it away so as things go on and tokens are spent, they're burnt, decreasing the total supply, but increasing the value. And we're looking to eventually long-term partner with some of the other projects that we've been working with to allow them to be payment sources. So if somebody has King Lion token or CoinFlect or Scooby, potentially even Wraith, like you can spend your Wraith tokens to play these games, and then still the same concept, whether it's the 50% split between 3 people a week or just other sources. And as we have a arcade library of games too, like eventually right now we're just going to have it 1 game a week. We'll open up all the games. So there'll be the 1 game a week that's kind of like the main focus. Like that's the game that's going to pay out the prizes. And then the other games will be ones where you can just spend like 25 cents in B&B and, play a game and just kind of have the bragging rights of the scores or practice or just kind of like a fun little way to kill 20, 30, 40 minutes of time, but not be one of those games that's requiring hours and hours and hours and hours of investment to just kind of like hit the top 100 scores. I don't have time to play something like that anymore. So this was kind of a fun little pipe dream. And the guy that Howler found to do it, I mean, he's knocked my socks off, which is not the easiest thing to do. He said he was going to do it in like 30 days. And I think it's been like 10 days, 14 days, something like that. And he's just about done with it, which is really impressive. I don't even think it's been that long. Howler, how long ago did you find the guy?
Just gonna ballpark this, but it's definitely less than 7 days.
Yeah.
He actually had a couple other projects that he was working on, but he was so enticed into this project, he's like, okay, I'm gonna delay these guys, and he came back to me saying these guys are really not happy with me doing this, but I really want to do this, and of course he has to finish them up before he completely finishes working for others. But it's simple tasks. He said it's just a couple of tasks. So he will be fully on board after he done our game and them 2 other tasks. that he has to do, and we're done. He's in.
Yeah. So on top of that, really don't have anything too much else to discuss. The last couple weeks being holiday weeks were just kind of slow and steady. So if you guys have any questions, fire away. If not, we'll kind of wrap it up. I'll get the recording up on the YouTube ideally today, now that I know how quick my stuff can work. And we can kind of get on with our week. We'll still be doing weekly AMAs, but there's really not a lot of pretty talk around the development of stuff. So it may not be as big or exorbitant. I don't even know if that's the right word. Basically, won't be talking about as many irons in the fire, because right now they're kind of all in the fire. So we're just kind of hammering them out one after another. So the calls will be a little bit shorter. One thing I do request, you guys have started to all do it really well, but if you could keep just as silly as it is, repost on Twitter, stuff like that. Marketing is hard, marketing is expensive, and some of the things that we've paid for have not been the most effective. But looking back at some of the most effective, they were meme coins, but the strategies that they did was the community rallied behind it and started posting, whether it was Twitter or Instagram or Reddit, et cetera, et cetera. Some of you are doing a phenomenal job, but if we could just make sure to keep doing that. I've been scheduling out actual Twitter posts now. I think the last 2 days I've had 3 scheduled, and then I've been going in manually. Last couple days on Instagram now, I've got like the next week worth at least scheduled out. So if I get busy, there's at least going to be 3 posts on Twitter a day, stuff like that. But anything we can do as a community to just kind of keep it going, keep it growing, is going to benefit all of us in the long run. So I appreciate all of your guys' hard work so far, and keep it up.
Also, AJ has a question. I want to know about swap. It started, right? So the swap development is, yes, it's kind of in the works right now, but as Joe mentioned, the developer itself kind of chewed more than he could handle. So we kind of have to adjust our situation and continue from there. But it is not in any way delayed or postponed or anything like that. So we are still looking for the swap to be released in Q1. Ideal date is mid Q1. But yeah, we're working on that. Also, me and Jay has actually decided, as the decentralized exchange itself is going to take a lot more time, because we were talking with the developer. It's going to take a lot more time to develop because it's a lot more complicated. We are looking to release DeFi and the swap first, and have the developer working on the decentralized exchange while we already have a platform operating at basically 75% of the capacity.
Yeah, so the concept behind that is we were trying to release it all at once, and that's where this poor kid is like, ooh, this is a lot harder than I realized. So we're trying to just get the swap and like farming staking platform done and released, and then have him focus solely on the decentralized exchange part. That's where the biggest like integration of that centralized exchange field comes from. So like the order book style where you can place limit buys and sells on your crypto and things along those lines. So it's just a lot more complex than he realized it was going to be. He had been on a team that had done one in the past, but he wasn't the one spearheading that development. So he was pretty confident, oh yeah, I can do it myself. And now it's I can do it, but I'm going to need some help and some time. So we just want to have a usable product out for you guys. So that's where we're going, okay, let's do the swap stake farm. That way he can just focus afterwards solely on the decentralized exchange part. And then when we release that, we can knock it out of the park. So that's where the main kind of like headache on his part is. So he's working on it. It's just not as easy as he had assumed it was going to be. But yeah, it's in the works. Q1 is still the timeline right now. There's no change on that.
Also, some of you might want to know, as before the Christmas we kind of talked about, I basically talked about actually having NFTs minted for everyone, So I'm still looking for a different developer, but I do have the samples. I have everything that a new graphics designer basically needs to make these NFTs. Um, so they should be. I'm not gonna give a timeline, but I'm gonna give an estimate of maybe, let's say, maximum a month from now. Uh, our holders will be rewarded with unique ADREAM NFTs. Um, yeah, and also I did talk about the NFTs that will be usable inside our arcade game. That is currently postponed. For the NFTs to be created, this and that, we will have to um, basically talk with the developer if he can do it. If he cannot do this, we will have to bring in another person to do this. But it is not in any way, shape, or form, thrown out a window and just say, let's forget about it. No, this is not the way. You will eventually still be able to mint your NFTs with ADREAM tokens, and possibly, I'm like 90% sure, you will be able to use them inside our arcade game library in any way we can actually do them. It could be like a profile picture, it could be a background, it could be like a power up or a free entry, something like that. Um, so yeah, if anyone has any questions, please do ask. We do encourage that.
We're about to have a record length AMA here, Howler.
It feels like most of our talkers are actually not here, which is strange.
Well, AJ just
I'm
got a booster shot for COVID, so I know she's out like a light, and I'm not sure if Nick is working or not. And then Tyler's not here, who normally is, so I'm pretty sure he's wrapped up with work, but I'm not too concerned. We are working on making sure that you guys actually see their faces a little bit more often. We've re-strategized as a development team our action plan on a week-to-week basis. So once that starts to grow a little bit more too, you'll see, ideally, a lot more activity across all social channels, as well as the chats, both Reddit, Discord, and here, pretty much tasking them with drumming up conversation, more or less. I had a couple of polls that I've put up this week, but trying to get more things like that, another engaging conversation going, and I don't want to say scalping, but trying to bring people in from other groups to hold conversations, more or less. As long as we can get the activity going back up. Think about when we were at our high point, there was a ton of activity and a ton of communication going on. And then as it dwindled down, the communication dwindled down. So we have to kind of just try and breathe life back into the group. I don't care what you talk about. Talk about the weather, crack jokes, anything. Let's just kind of start to bring life back into it, because the biggest issue we're going to have right now is people are going to come into the group and then they're not going to see any conversation. It's just going to look dead. So they're going to see a chart that looks questionable, and then they're going to come into a group and see minimal conversation, and it's not going to have a good look. So we're just trying to bring it back to the way that it used to be, more or less. So one day at a time. Obviously, I'm not asking anybody to go above and beyond, but don't hesitate to just post a little more. And then AJ, Logo and Trust Wallet, they want 25,000 holders before they're going to show the logo. So we've got a long way to go. It used to be a lot less. It was like 2,500 holders. But last time Howler was talking with them, it became 25,000 holders.
It's due to a lot of scams arising, so they want to mitigate the entry point for a logo due to basically a lot of scams around. So even though we are a legit project, we are KYC, we just basically done everything we could to prove that we're not here to mess around. They don't really look into that as a positive. They're very solid on their 50,000 transactions and 25,000 holders. So even so, with this, with our first game release, which will happen next week, we will do a follow-up marketing campaign to basically um, bring in some new faces. Yeah. So if you guys could be a bit more active, even make this your top one spot to come have a conversation, because everyone here is so nice. Actually, I love being in chat. I know you guys love being in chat as well. So we'll do our best to stay
I
in the
feel
chat as well.
I feel like you guys pop in when somebody tries to FUD. It's like everybody pops in to defend us, which is amazing, and then it just kind of fizzles out. So I love
Like,
all of you guys. You guys are phenomenal. It's just how do we keep the conversation going?
did you see that guy he was trying to FUD saying the devs have left
Yes.
or something like that? And everyone just ripped on him.
Yeah, like I said, you guys are absolutely amazing. And that's just it, is we're a really welcoming community. But that's the other thing I worry about too, is like the last couple of like big pops of conversation we've had in the last week have been people who popped into FUD and then everybody ripped them a new one and then silence. And I'm worried that new people who come in will see that and not feel welcome. So that's kind of all I'm saying. You know, I don't expect you to spend all day, every day talking in our group, but if there's anything that looks like it could be a conversation you could keep flowing and you have something to say, by all means, just speak your mind.
Well, yeah, especially with this. Basically, it is kind of a big deal for us. Joe does not emphasize this enough because this is first exclusive ADREAM utility that we're bringing out. You know, so it is very big deal for us. We do have partnership with Coinflect for farming, but it's like this is
Ours.
really unique to us. Yeah, and there's so much potential in this, guys. You just don't really even recognize this because there's really not many projects out there doing this, and we can go to other projects, say, hey guys, you just wanna maybe you guys wanna have maybe a partnership or something. So there's also that incentive for people to join our community, as well as the potential partnerships for our DEX, DeFi. You know, the sky's the limit on this, because there's a big incentive if, let's say, we go to King Lion token and say, hey, let's use your token for payment this week, and your users are going to benefit from 50% all the collected money pool or the win, and 50% goes to you. But if you want to give some to us, we're not going to say no, of course. But it just brings so more people into our atmosphere. It's going to be incredible, obviously. That's what I think, at least. And it's super exciting for me, as this was not even on our roadmap or white paper. It was just spontaneous.
It wasn't. So like the last phase of the roadmap, we do have the game tournament that we have planned on doing, but this was just kind of like that's going to be a little bit more in depth of a gaming tournament, just because that's the space that Holler was coming from. This was more like can we do it? Can we do it fast? Can we do it cheap? Can we do it fun? Oh, yes, we can. So let's just do it. And again, kind of like it does provide utility, which again, it safeguards us. Once the CoinFlect utility is up, we have to decide whether or not we want to do another pool. And then if we decided not to do another pool, technically we wouldn't have a utility yet. So it's just another safeguard to prevent the project from being shut down from government sources too. So it is a weird way of doing it, but I am actually really excited for it. It's going to be a blast.
I'm super excited. I love that game.
Yeah.
I played it a lot.
And just to warn you, I already have the high score. So good luck.
I think I'm going to go beat it today, even though it's going to get reset soon. But
I know. It won't matter. But yeah, enough of us bantering. If there are any more questions, feel free to fire it away. If not, we'll probably wrap this up now and kind of let everybody go on with their day.
Don't
All
be
right.
shy, guys.
Well, on that mark then, everybody enjoy their weekend. Obviously, like I said, keep talking, and we'll pop on chat again next Friday. So talk to y'all soon. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Everyone has a dream, but bringing it to reality needs financial support. ADREAM is a new BEP20 auto-generating liquidity token that will support our community-driven platform for global financial well-being. American Dream Token. Imagine helping a village become a trade destination or opening a coffee shop in Japan. American Dream Token will bring these dreams to reality by creating wealth opportunities for every stakeholder on our platform. With DreamSwap, we are set to provide new investors with a safe place to trade their valuable crypto on a decentralized platform that has the potential to grow exponentially by bringing ever-increasing interested parties on board. DreamChart will give our token holders access to a closely knitted community that will be updated constantly to kickstart fruitful discussion while enabling you to track your coin values. With our token creation platform Dream Launch, you can now easily become a project developer and leverage Dream Invest to become an angel investor for small businesses and startups with high growth potential globally. Invest now to unlock the full potential of your dreams.